Welcome to Dave's Trauma Diner, episode 94. So soon, after the last one. I'm your host, obviously, Devious Dave Rose. My name's in the marquee there. And as always, let's start off our show by showing our gratitude and appreciation. Yes, to all those who have chosen to spend their time with us here today. So if we look at our chat, way up, we've got It's the Costanza, always quite vocal and not giving a flying fuck about what people say. We've got, who else here? We got the lovely Ms. Cora. And we have people that aren't identifying themselves, despite the fact that they're there, because we've got the thumbs up for it. But they don't want to identify themselves because, well, what was brought to my attention earlier today by the sparrows, yes, and I do run an aviary. By the way, that means a home for birds. So, my particular bird is, well, at least the ones I keep are sparrows, although little birdies, of all types. Very much do like, black-hooded chickadees. They're very cute. And nuthatches. They're fucking awesome birds. If you ever look into them, awesome birds. They're like the Spider-Man of birds. I run an aviary, and I feed them well, and I provide for them. And they come to me with all little snippets of things. And it seems to be that some people who have appeared in my chat, who've actually even disagreed with me in my chat, have been, I guess, identified for termination in other chats. So not only have they been banned, so it's actually there's been multiple people who have come to me as of late because, again, apparently they couldn't stand my little stream from yesterday, Tweedledee and Tweedle Chicom. And, they made more videos, I believe, today. I don't know. I didn't watch them. All I got was the fucking links and like, hey, look at this. It's like, nah, I don't think so. But also people telling me, oh, I try to pop in their chat, but I'm banned. Or, they were attacking me. I was watching their show and they were attacking me. And all I did was just show up in your chat and say this or say that, but not, agree with you or anything. So, again, guilt by association. Very typical of cowards, like Seaman and Travis. So, in the chat, Cora says she just watched Jurassic World 1 and 2 when the Indominus Rex breaks through the aviary. Wow, that was a great scene. I have not seen that movie, so I cannot comment. But, yes, so apparently, whoa, look at that, 19 viewers right now and only 5 likes. Hi, hate watchers, hi, hope you're losing weight with my patented weight loss program. Although I can guarantee you that the best therapy ever is cinder block therapy, take my word for it. And that'll ensure that you'll never gain any weight ever again. It's proven. But, hi, hate watchers, hi. I love that you hate watch me. I do. And I love that people make videos on me and I still don't watch them, even though I'm told, oh, look at this, look at that. Yeah, okay. I know people are not going to stop. It's never stopped before. I mean, shit. These people think this is my first rodeo, and yet I've dealt with this for, 6, 8 years with Cronin and stuff. Again, 12-time sail-away champion. Not shy about admitting that. Very proud of that accomplishment as well. But every single time I'd sail away, people talk shit and didn't get me heated. So keep making your videos. That's fine. It just really sort of goes ahead and proves my point and shows that I was correct all along. But shout out to Eric James Alpha, who I haven't seen in the chat in quite some time. I'm glad to see you here. Wielding that shiny wrench. Speaking of the chat, seems that on my last stream, I guess it was Nikki who was contacted by the goon who was asking if he was banned in the chat, and I said yes, of course, because you decided to get uppity. And again, what these millennials and Zoomers and just infantile individuals just don't seem to understand is you can run your channel any way you want. Democracy really means rule of the mob. Demos, the people. But obviously, young, inexperienced, and emotional individuals wouldn't understand that. Okay, I'll grant you that. You should have paid attention in school since you guys are well beyond that at this point, but okay. But you can run your channel all you want and have a democracy if you think that that is actually functional, which we know it's not. Or you can have a constitutional republic like America. Or you can just simply decide, I know what's best. I'm the enlightened despot, which I am. And I will choose to make this a theocratic dictatorship and autocratic rule. Works for me. So don't go crying, oh, I can't talk at Dave's chapel. No, you got a little too uppity. And, that your type gets sent back to the fucking mines. Okay, you get whipped a bit, you get sent back to the mines. And that's just how it is. You got to understand that. And if you take offense, well, the problem is you don't seem to understand it. No one can give offense. You can only take offense. So for all these people who are getting blue balls and such, you're the ones who apparently have vaginas that have yet to be discovered. Perhaps you're androgynous, I don't know. Kind of disgusting, but again, my very, very simplistic adage reigns supreme. Now, let's go back to the chat real quick. We got the one and only Gonfall in the chat. He, you might as well call him the Shredder, because he can fucking just destroy a fucking guitar with his playing. So, if you ever get a chance to listen to that man, I suggest you do. We got Burr2393. Hope you're doing well. Hope the kiddo is doing well as well. I'm saying well a lot, yes. And glad that you could join us. But at last, when we left off on the Drama Diner, episode 93, Dave Rose had not yet completed the review of Nikki Nine's stream, where Seaman decided to call in and say a few things while the coward Travis in the chat said his little bit shit. So we return to the show as Dave Rose reviews every 6 seconds what is said. And shout out to all the people out there. Let's continue.
Have to have fucking heels. Like you just have to in this fucking community. And but there isn't. Like, I mean, you think over the fucking years. Like, I haven't been here for the years, but like everyone says, the heyday was Ken, Dave, JB, and Joe.
I would say that it was a little bit prior to that, but regardless, that took it to the next level. But because, again, when it's split in the sense that where you had Ken exclusively sort of on, well, not essentially exclusively, but a lot on Corrupted, that changed the dynamic compared to Monetize This, where, in my opinion, the golden age, although Ken added great stuff, there was just way too many people at that point, and you could hear that as well. But me... and this is no shot at Ken at all. If you're going to ask my honest opinion, I think the best combination literally was Jesse, JB, Joe, the 3 J's, and me, and with Leah sometimes coming in. It was more manageable that way, and it was just, we would do a little more planning. But then again, Joe is the one that really decided to change the format and just go random shit, as opposed to the formula that I always said worked best, which you start off the show serious, review a few things in the news, review a few clips that end up are, funny, and then eventually just evolve in absolute madness. That's the equation that I thought, always worked. And again, being Mr. Consistent, that's always what I've said. So, you've got Chi-Coms and children trying to tell me that I'm wrong, that I lie, or whatever the case is. I don't even know. But I've always been consistent. In fact, I'm so big, you can call me Mister. And only Canadians will get that joke. Let's continue.
And there may have been someone else in there or not. I don't know how long you've been around, but that was the heyday, from what I understand.
Yeah, apparently he's been around for quite some time, but he just never bothered to look into anything that happened, which is funny because Tommy C and me fell out 2015. Well, just a little bit prior to when he fell out with Joe. So, Joe's not always the cause of problems. Let's be honest. But yeah, I'd say in 2015. In 2015 at some point is when that occurred. Let's continue.
Right. Well, I technically have known about this side of things. I used to work with someone who worked with Joe, and I try to avoid bringing his name up just because I don't want people like fucking with it due to.
Sounds pussy to me. Again, you call me a liar, I'm pulling out the fucking screenshots. But I can't talk about this. Dude, have more self-respect, please.
Due to my shit, because he's not involved in any drama shit. He's not around here anymore. So it's like I try my best to keep our shit separate just out of respect for him. But like I've known who Cronin was since 2016, and I've known who Dave Rose was since 2006.
Okay, so I guess it was 2016. It still sounds a little too late for me. To me, I believe it was 2015, but I could be wrong. But clearly, close enough. Let's continue.
16. Okay. I remember when he got fucking fired from Tommy C show. Like I've known who,
because I wouldn't bow down to Tommy C. Yes, that seems to be the consistent case here. Is that I'm not a pussy, and I won't acquiesce to these millennial beliefs and bullshit. And I have more self-respect for myself than apparently anybody, at least of your ilk. So, and I didn't say elk, who are playing tonight, I believe, the Edmonton Elks. No, ilk. Okay, so if you don't know that, read a fucking thesaurus. Let's continue.
Like I knew Ken was, so on and so forth. I just didn't get over here till like fucking, I think 2019. I started listening to Cronin's wrestling shit, and then eventually fell in love with Monetize This, and then learned that Joe's kind of a fucking stooge, and found, I think really YR was the first person I started listening to over.
That's kind of sad, because if you knew about Ken, you would have been fucking watching Ken. Simple as that. But, YR? Really? That's fucking sad. That just goes to show that, again, this is the type of individual who is obviously extremely infantile and immature, and can only relate to things like cartoons or people who are making shit jokes and shit.
We're on this side of things, and it just kind of... To answer your question instead of my fucking ramble...
Shout out to all the hate viewers right now. We got 23 viewing, and I'm going to have to guess at least half of them are hate viewing. And again, it's so little fun. So little fun. Because I can't see your thumbs down. And again, in the end, what does that fucking matter? That the insult comes better when people can see the thumbs down. They can't see the thumbs down, so what's the fucking point?
Fucking... I want to... A little over... January 2021 was when I would have started paying attention to all the stuff over in like the drama side of things.
Yeah. But I get what...
Oh, I just noticed this in the fucking chat. I didn't see this. Spartan King of Texas, who has disagreed with me in my chat. Never been banned, though. Never been banned. I think even might have a wrench. He says, C-Man talking about how to treat each other is laughable. What a hypocrite bitch. I'm going to have to agree with you, Spartan. Let's continue.
Why some people gravitate towards it, because it's like...
Oh, I may have made a mistake by... this guy would have seen it anyways, but since it seems, there we go, to be that anybody that's in my chat is now labeled some sort of war criminal, would lead me to believe that the same thing would apply here, where you have somebody who's disagreeing with C-Man. And, what can we see from that? We'll have to see.
I honestly believe the drama, like the drama section of the community is the heartbeat of the community. Because,
agree with that.
You have people that like Joe, and they're only going to listen to Joe.
It became... Now, see, Nikki, it became that. It wasn't ever. It was always about wrestling and shit. People would make sideshows just on wrestling. It became drama when a certain individual decided to feel neglected after baking a cake. That's what started it. It can't be denied. Nothing like that happened prior to that instance. Okay, if people like Seaman were actually paying attention, they might be able to recognize that. But no, typical Zoomer doesn't want to pay attention to anything that happened prior to their birth. And doesn't exist if I don't know about it. Let's continue.
Joe, but that's because they're just...
Shout out to fellow Ontarian, Danimal, in the chat. Oh, so Spartan is banned here? Well, let's see if we can fix that then. That's weird. Maybe he got naughty, I don't know. But I will address that right now, actually. I'm putting I'm putting my show on hold for you to try to get that rectified. So if you'll just bear with me here. Settings. Where's your settings? Settings. There we go. No, community. That's what I want, right? Yeah, there we go. Und. Can I search this? Well, to be honest, I don't even know how many these people are, but I've got hundreds of people that are blocked because, again, you want to be a troll, make a fake account, you'll definitely be banned. But I've got one person in here, the man with two first names, but he's fucking approved. He's got a wrench here. So there's people that do take other names and such that make it difficult for me to judge whether or not somebody is who they claim to be. Because again, these losers just have nothing else better than do that. Now, if Spartan can somehow get, or maybe someone with a wrench in the chat, if they can get me his YouTube URL, the one for his channel, all I got to do is pop it into the approved moderators, and it just, saves me the time of going through 200 plus names. Oh shit. No. 307 more is what it's saying. I don't know what it normally shows, so I probably have maybe 350 to 400 people blocked. So this just goes to show how effective, I should say, I am at triggering people. And also how gung-ho that I am to promote my my brand of fascism. Certainly not Peronism. That system is broken and stupid. And you can laugh at every Argentinian for ever considering that a viable political solution. But I never did. Danimal is attempting to do that for me. I appreciate it. And I will attempt to reinstate that once I've got the information. The animal also yields a shiny wrench, so he'll be able to place a URL in the chat and should be able to bypass all this bullshit of having to look through all these people. But hey, people, first of all, sometimes you don't know who's going to be fucking around, and so there's also other times that people get uppity. So I don't believe Spartan got uppity, but I could be wrong. But I did notice that after the thing with Ken, one of my mods was banning people because people would say, I'm banned. I'm like, that's impossible. I didn't ban you. Like, no, I literally can't, write. So I'd fucking say, okay, get me your channel name, and I'll just approve you as a moderator. Which just, I eventually caught on. But it just goes to show how petty people can be. And yet, Ken and I, still friends. You haven't been able to accomplish jack shit. And you look like fools for it. You look like fools. Egg on your face, as we used to say back in the day. So we also have Jukebox Zero in the chat today. He says, What does TLC mean? This in this Chinese spy Travis name? I guess he means, is this his name? It's his initials, really. It's his name's initials. That's all it is. Very unoriginal, and also, again, somebody who actually thinks that they're James Bond, considering not having operational security. I mean, as a mercenary myself, I don't care. I want people to know me. But as someone who is supposed to be, very competent when it comes to intelligence and reconnaissance work, you would think that Travis would call himself, I don't know, Baines John, or something like, I don't know, something that would think. But obviously, Chi-Coms don't think. Now, let's get on back to this, because we're just getting started, my friends. Yes, yes. And there's much more to go. Quite the delicious menu. In fact, I should have added more, but surprise.
Joe and wrestling in general, so they're going to listen to Joe. And Ken's got his fans, but I'd say a lot of Ken's fans, not all, because there's a lot that don't care for it, but a lot of Ken's fans do dive into the drama. You know? Because Ken used to, like before, he used to jump head first into it. Which was funny because that's, I didn't plan on doing it, and I came into it, and it was funny because Mars and OMD used to laugh about it. Because they like watching me go head first into the drama, like I just rocketed in and started talking all kinds of shit. Because you just don't do that here. And me, it was always like, well, it's the fucking internet. It gives a shit.
Right.
I mean, it is the fucking internet, and some people here treat it like it's the Holy Grail, Chili Tuesday. I miss OMD. I do too, man. OMD, I mean, he and I have bickered before, but I never had anything personal against him. I generally always enjoyed when he was on streams. I always enjoyed, because he's one of those guys that can talk and he knows how to go back and forth. And that's a rarity in this community.
Now, I wish there was different talks at different points about bringing him back. It just never came together, but that's like him, me, and Bars together on a Discord call is just a fucking gold mine. It sucks I never got the chance to work with him in any capacity.
No, it would have been good. Like Mars, OMD, Bars, me, some other. We used to sit on calls and talk and laugh our asses off. Like he's good at what he does and what he did with the community, and but I'm happy for him, because from what I know of him, he's out living a life and happy.
Yes, life's real good for him right now, man. I'm super stoked for him. Shit's real.
Is it for what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Pipe down there, man. Pipe down.
Good.
And that's good for him, because he from what I know, and not to give anything away, he was struggling a bit. He was struggling a bit with pain.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad that he's doing better. I'm glad that he's happier.
Yeah.
And I am. And if he ever comes back, I mean,
nobody can blame him for fucking leaving. Scott was fucking just harassing the shit out of this guy, and he's just like, "Yep, I'm out. That's it." Even when fucking Scott wasn't around and Mars and others wanted to bring him into his shows and stuff, he was extremely hesitant. And you can't blame him to the shit that guy had to fucking put up with. But then again, the guy was a troll as well, and he was very proud of that. So, divine justice, maybe? I don't know. Got to figure it out for yourself.
It'd be great to have him around. I'm sure we'll butt heads again about shit and talk shit to each other, but with him, it'll just never go further than that, because he and I could talk shit to each other, but be reasonable to one another at the same time.
One can stand and one can fall. And when it came to Scott, he fell. But when it came to me, Scott fell. So much for the ultimate troll.
Right. Man, I miss
he thinks I'm an asshole. Bars has not been around.
Yeah, which I talk to him still here and there, and shit's good. You know, it's not anything bad why he's gone. It just
Okay.
about OMD. I'm thinking, yeah, I fucking work still around.
Tip says this: the difference between Joe's community and the drama community is we all interact with each other, know each other, and that's true. True, and I do get why people want why because it feels much more invested because it's just like a group of people that all kind of just hang out with the same people and fuck with each other. So we're all kind of used to each other.
Shout out to Nicky
and,
James.
and enjoy each other to some kind of extent. You know.
Yeah, I never felt that when interacting with it, like the Cronin side of things. Like if I wanted to interact with Cronin, I had to fucking drop a couple dollars for it to happen, you know, and that's not the case over here. Like you know, like with anybody
about,
could fuck.
People give me affirmation. People pay attention to me. Shake my head.
Cucumbers
that?
don't pay for themselves. Shit, motherfucker. Somebody send C-Man the direct link. This is some bullshit.
I ain't done nothing, motherfucker. You ain't getting none of my flower bed decoration money, motherfucker.
Legal immigrant job. Listen to your bullshit.
Oh shit! I don't even fucking.
What? I thought you were the one who said on stream that you did that. I was like, huh?
Not so much like that. Like I just say landscaper because it's easiest. Like my stuff at the cemetery is more like mowing, weed eating, that kind of stuff. That's the majority of it. Now I do work funerals and shit as well, but it's easier to just say landscaper because I'm taking care of it.
How rude. Running your fucking lawnmower while there's a funeral going on. How rude.
Well, yeah, I get that, but it's funny when you said that. I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, because like I'm one of those people that. And maybe it's like a character flaw in me, but when like I get along with people, but when they say certain things, I'm like, okay, that's a little bit of ammunition for later. Let me stow that away when I might need it.
Oh, but Dave Rose storing all this information for psychotics who want to fuck around and find out. That's a bad thing, eh, C-Man? Again, whippersnapper, you haven't been around long enough to understand the ways of the Force. In fact, you're a youngling, and you deserve the same fate as, Anakin, Vader, did to those little Jedi younglings.
Exactly why I don't.
Don't worry, you're not going to get triggered. It's not a cinder block, It's a sci-fi thing, again. You and your infantile mind, at least that might be a little bit more accepted than, a cinder block, which is much more manly. That's what it is.
I won't say, like, there very few details of my personal life.
Dude, relax.
For what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America?
Seriously, fucking C-Man. Relax with the cockswax.
Been put out on air because I just don't. I know people stock up on that shit.
Well,
and
to be fair, that's on.
I wonder why. I wonder why they did that. I wonder why, since Scott did for years did the exact same thing. That Joe for years did the exact same thing. That Tommy C did the exact same thing. I wonder why. I wonder why people would do that. I don't know. Again, you lack logic, and no $120,000 piece of paper is ever going to assist you with that if you don't take interest in learning logic.
Stream, that's never anything personal for anyone out there. Like anything anyone tells me in confidence, always.
No, I know.
Between us. That's for anyone listening. Like anyone who's ever told me anything, like I've never gave up anyone for anything. Like I remember getting in shit because somebody gave me fucking screenshots of JB trying to talk to Kenny Bolin to get Joe Cronin a book deal, and JB's number was on there, and we're all on a stream. Wire me, Mars, fucking what's his name?
Shout out to a man with two first names in the chat whose phone is just about to die. Hopefully you enjoy what you can hear. Let's continue.
Dr. Earl, and we had Dr. Earl read it, and I didn't realize it was on the stream. And JV's number got out there, and like I'm like, oh shit, and we took it down, and we're like, I apologize profusely. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, that was my bad. I took the blame for it, and Chrono was calling me up Nikki, tell me who did it, who gave it to you. Tell me now. Like trying to flex. I'm like, fuck you. Who the fuck are you, asshole? You know, I don't give up my fucking sources, dude. Sorry, never have, never fucking will, dude. But otherwise, if you say something on stream, I'm gonna stow that shit for later.
and
Oh, but Dave Rose, right? C-Man, Dave Rose, bad man, orange man, bad, white man, bad. I'm more of like a, I make a cloud jealous on how what I am. Truly a shining example, literally. But yes, Dave Rose, bad man.
That's expected because I can't sit here and fucking play sweet innocent angel. Like I do that same shit too. Like if there's something that I feel could make
Wait. You do the same thing too, but hold on. Dave Rose, bad man? Dave Rose, bad man? It doesn't make any sense. Dave Rose, bad man. Yes, that's correct, man with two first names. That is currently what we have presented. The emotional egg noodles.
for a good joke later. Like I'm gonna fucking put it in my back pocket. But
Dave Rose, bad man. Dave Rose, bad man. Show me on the doll again where Dave Rose hurt you. And no, stop pointing to your wallet. You never fucking donated a goddamn cent. Okay. Speaking of which, donation lines are open. See? Beautiful segue. But get the fuck out of here with your fucking Dave Rose bad man.
I don't remember where I was going with that specifically. Can't remember what we were talking about beforehand.
We were talking about.
Do you see the same? Do you say the same shit to your fucking therapist there? I mean, I know that a lot of you Zoomers seem to have to do that. Back in my day, it's called sucking it up. But I guess for you fragile little snowflakes, you got to be treated for every little neuroses.
About like the landscaping, and we're talking about.
Oh yeah. Well, that kind of shit is whatever, But like the real personal shit, and
I don't get it. No.
I've told you a few things about myself. Like some of that stuff, I would not want on air because even though it's not a big deal, and I'm more like proud of where I'm at in my life now. It's like,
but you're willing to collect that on other people. But I wouldn't say that about myself. Meanwhile, Scott McKinnon is fucking yelling at the camera, "I'm here, find me, come get me." At least Scott offered more entertainment than this individual.
It's like I know people would fucking.
In fact, I can guarantee that Nikki Nines would fucking totally agree with that statement.
Take that and turn it into something it isn't, and that's a good way to piss me off.
Well, of course they do and stuff like that. Like even when I think about like the whole internet diary, this was stuff that I wrote literally, I want to say 14 years ago.
Right.
And it's stuff like, and I don't give a shit that it's out there because this is 14 fucking years ago, and it's like things I was going through, my thoughts and emotions, and I'm a person that I can talk about this shit.
It's called a fucking blog. I don't understand what the big deal ever was. It's like you fucking talk about shit. I had a blog one time that I was talking about the incompetence of fucking people who worked in the outdoor industry. Expressing my opinion and my feelings. What's the big fucking deal?
Shit, that doesn't bother me. But it was still like this. It was still funny.
It's also a great article.
Listening to the amount of
very well written, I must say.
Shit.
Ooh, we just got a donation. Let me first check to see who is exactly sending this donation, so that the reflection of the animation works. So it is the. Hold on, let me just read this here from Seaman's Wallet. Sorry, Seaman doesn't donate. I'm sneaking you this bit to make up for his shortcomings. So it's basically from Seaman's Wallet. So Seaman's Wallet is telling me this directly. That's who's actually giving this donation. He says, Sorry, Seaman doesn't donate. I'm sneaking you this bit to make up for his shortcomings. Well, thank you, Seaman's Wallet. I do appreciate that, people are paying attention and so forth, and I'm glad that you were able to sneak it in. He probably won't be too pleased, but then again, what's he going to do? Throw you out? No. So let me recognize that with a beautiful little screen or animation here, because I do like my animations. Yeah, we use this one because I like it. It's cool. But there we go. And we'll use that to represent Seaman's wallet. Although, we do have Danimal, who is the one who inspired me to use this graphic for the donation. Obviously, you should understand why. But I do appreciate the donation regardless. And I hope you're having fun tonight, or today. Well, I guess we are in tonight. It's 6 p.m. Eastern time. So as soon as it hits about 5 o'clock, it's evening. Sorry. Just how it works. So let's get back down to it, poppers. We've got so much more to go. And Ken is going live tonight at 10 o'clock. So that'll be in about 4 hours. And, well, I got some time. And you're my Huckleberry. So let's continue.
From a side of the community, like, oh, we got you. I got everything. Like, it was this blueprint to, like, who I am in my entire life. And to try to use it against me because it was like, well, I mean, I purposely put it out there, dude. So, thanks.
Right.
Thanks for the fucking views.
I don't understand why that'd even be an ace in the hole, because I think back of how much I've changed in just the past 2 years, let alone fucking 14 years. Like, I can't even fuck.
If you've changed, then what, are you getting more immature or what? I mean, like, or were you just like so immature in the first place that it's just taking you some time, even at your age at this point, in your 20s or whatever, to still reach both a level of intelligence as well as a level of maturity that is, well, that should be reflective of your physical age. Because come on, Ken, come on.
Fucking fathom that 14 years ago I was a fucking teeny bopper,
Oh, yeah, in another 10 years, you'll change even more. And, like, who you are as a person is just going to be completely different. Like, you're going to look back on this shit, if you do look back on this shit, and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm going to look back at it with joy, knowing all that I accomplished and all the people I triggered. And nothing gives me more pleasure than that. Again, people think this is my first rodeo. Oh, Dave Rose just started to switch this on. And you don't think I've been doing this my entire fucking life? How the fuck do you think I've become so good? Because I know how to do it. But what the fuck do I know, right? Let's continue.
Well, I mean, there's going to be parts that, like, fucking mainly probably just my friendship with bars I always look back on fondly because, like, especially this past.
Did you have one of those, jerking sessions over Zoom or something? I can understand maybe why you're so amorous towards him, but not really my business. So, I am somewhat curious just for the, weird aspect of your homoerotic, relationship there, because it, obviously it would at least confirm a lot that I've suspected for quite some time. But, I don't really want to know the details and stuff. I just suspect that that's basically where it went. Let's continue.
Year there for a while we were on a phone call.
Oh, you actually, just as a side note, you might be interested, C-Man. Right now, for Pride Month, Burger King is offering burgers with both tops and bottoms as the bread, which to me doesn't make any sense, as I explained the other day, because usually in a homosexual relationship, and I've had gay friends, okay, I understand this shit, there's usually a top and a bottom. You can't really have two, because then they're both fighting for dominance, sort of thing. Same thing with the girls. There's always going to be one that's going to be more butch. So it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, sure, it's something that you'd purchase, C-Man. I mean, you do clearly support Pride Month and jerk sessions on Zoom and that sort of thing. And yes, it is very degenerate, so I will have to call you out on the morality on that situation. But then again, I don't believe you believe in God, which would then again make you a godless pagan, and actually probably worse, you're probably a commie. Well, you do associate with them, so that does make sense. And, better dead than red. So, let's continue.
Every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and like that's a dude that I could go to with fucking anything, so I'll always appreciate that. I don't know how much beyond that I'll ever really like look back on, aside from just some of the just the streaming part in general. But I think I looked. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying quick because Chili Tuesday said that straddling piano shit they tried to push was funny, because I had I play keyboard also, and and it was back in the day of like MySpace, so I'm taking like their Instagram photos basically, but really shittily because the camera sucked. So I'm putting this on my face on a fucking piano because I'm like I'm gonna get some pussy off MySpace. Like that was the whole fucking point of the fucking picture, and they're just like, oh god, he's straddling because he wants to get fucked in the ass. It's like, yeah, that's why he did it, dude.
Yeah. Well, back then, even I'm not gonna lie, the picture's a little on the cringe side, but internet cringe didn't exist back then. Fucking, especially early days of MySpace. So what that would have been like.
Yeah, but the funny part is you say that, but every fucking broad I've ever known loves that picture. So that's at the end of the day, that's the point of it. Like I don't give a shit if you don't like it. It ain't for you, motherfucker. I don't want your dick in my ass. I want some fucking cucumber chick at my,
You want some cucumber chicken?
Wow. and that's the point. That was the point of it. So it doesn't bother me. It's like, okay, so whatever, man. Like, I will say this: I'm glad that the internet wasn't as prominent when I was young, and there was no Instagram and shit like that, or fucking YouTube, because Jesus Christ, I know I did cringy shit in my life. I know I did shit that was just like, ooh.
Yeah. There's one, nobody will ever, it doesn't even exist anymore, but there was a fucking, like, I think right after high school, I went through, like, a little SoundCloud rapper phase, and, like,
Oh, my God, that's gay. Jeez, that's gay. Well, now it's starting to make sense, but... Well, and just in time for Pride Month. Excellent.
Yeah, it was rough. Well, I was fucking high out of my mind every day at that point in time.
Well,
so
I can't say shit. I used to be into rap.
Wait, wasn't this guy the one who called me a drunk? Him or Travis, or probably both. I'm a raging drunk. I'm constantly making threats. I'm gonna be a Garguts now. I one-upped Scott, and I didn't get tased by 6 cops at once. I got tased by 7 cops at once. So take that, Garguts. And, yeah, right? I'm this raging alcoholic. I'm clearly capable of drinking beer, and quite a lot of it, but certainly I don't believe I'm a drunk. And I think that my actions speak louder than words. So if you think that my conduct is that of a drunk, and again, I would believe it would be necessary at least to define, in your opinion, what you think, because it clearly doesn't seem to be the mainstream opinion. Maybe we could find a conclusion, but I certainly don't believe that that is the case. Let's continue.
Back in the day of gangster rap, so I used to rap shoes, so I mean, and it probably would have been pretty cringy because I was hanging out with I'm running with actual gangsters and getting into hood shit, and I'm this white fucking dummy from a middle class family, so it was, yeah.
We've all made mistakes, Nikki. I ran with some people that I shouldn't have, but by God's grace, I'm still here.
It was pretty fucking.
I hear you, dude.
But that's what it is, and that's part of being young, part of growing up.
Yeah,
true.
But some people can laugh about this shit. Like I can laugh about that, and some people, you can laugh about shit that's said about you.
Really, Nikki?
For what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
I can only imagine that that's exactly what his fucking streams sound like. From the fucking clips and shit and the fucking links and like the titles of these videos, I can only imagine that this literally how he's fucking... And every time someone sends it, it's like, nope, not watching. It's too much of a fucking joke. And it obviously, gives them more blue balls, which I really do like to do. I might have to be I don't know what the term is for a male, but the male version of a dominatrix, I might have to do something like that because I think I'm doing it really well with these guys. And hey, money's money. So if you're a fag and again for Pride Month, if you're a fag and you like fucking getting blue balls, okay, I'll look at your fucking junk and I'll fucking do what's needed to not touch you, but to put pain onto you, and I'll take your money, while we're at it, okay? I mean, the economy is bad as it is, so got to do what you got to do. Let's continue.
People have. I mean, fucking even Danny, to his credit, like the other night he said he laughed because I remember when I was told that Danny was telling some story how he smuggled across a border, and I'm like, what, in a fucking trash bag?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, dude, I was laughing my ass off. That was fucking hilarious. Like, at least he can laugh at himself, because if you can't, like, laugh at yourself, it's like, Jesus, dude, and you take yourself that seriously, you're not gonna fucking, you're gonna have a real miserable existence. You
Yeah.
know?
Danny's an interesting guy, bro. I've seen a whole nother side of him that I really didn't know existed this past week. And like, it's kind of cool to see.
Can you say the same thing about Keith, who you're cool with, and then you weren't cool with, and now you're cool with again? I don't know.
Danny's one of those dudes that I think if you're good with him and you get along, he's a good guy. But he's one of those guys, and I guess I'm similar in that sense, where if we get along, it's or for him, if you get along with him, he's good with you and he'll have your back and be cool and have fun. But if you're a fucking dick to him, he's gonna be
psychopaths will do that.
He's
yes.
gonna be a real fucking asshole. But like the past, no, it was enjoyable having him on the stream the other night. He was having fun. He was laughing, having a good time. He was making good points and stuff like that. And that's more than I can say for a lot of people in the community. On streams, specifically YR, fucking Keith, SC, Tony. But pretty much that whole crew over there.
YR's good as long as he's present, and I think SC gets a lot of flack. I feel like if SC really like focused in on.
Okay, this just goes to show how stupid C-Man is. Oh, he gets a lot of flack? Really? He didn't bring it upon himself. I just one day decided, I woke up and I said, you know what? Cinder block therapy would be appropriate for SC Steve. And speaking of which, there was a stream that apparently aired. I think I talked about this the other day, but it aired on YR's channel. SC Steve and the rest of those fucking deviants were featured there. And what I noticed when I did tune in is that SC Steve, as always, greasy illegal, just acting like a piece of shit, a greasy, dirty piece of shit, and yelling over people. And just like, hello! Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And this guy has no knowledge, Seaman has no knowledge of, the history from the past. So he just assumes, everything that happened prior to a year ago, I don't know about and I don't need to know about. But meanwhile, things sort of built up. So, clearly, quite retarded. Let's continue.
On almost, I'm trying to think of how to word it. Almost like cult.
How's that possible? I thought you were quite eloquent. You need to think on how to word things. Is that your IQ slipping? Or was it always jacked up falsely? Let's continue.
Cultivating a character in a sense. I feel like he has a lot of potential, more so than just like blatant show talent currently, if that makes sense.
It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. I'd suggest you read a dictionary, a thesaurus, and perhaps go back to elementary school for some English classes. You could pull the Billy Madison thing. That might work. And maybe you could start to speak like a human. After all, if you're going to be going into psychology, how do you expect to explain this to your patients?
See, but the thing is, SC's been around so long.
Shout out to Vikings fan in the chat. Says, what up, DDR? Tonight there's a NWA pay-per-view and UFC 274 pay-per-view big night. Yes, the UFC starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so in 2 hours, 45 minutes or less. I do not know about the NWA pay-per-view, which I don't have access to unless you want to send me a link. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And yeah, so that's cool. I know there's other games tonight. There's CFL. believe there's some hockey games. But and I'm not sure about baseball, but about basketball. But we got It's Bullsy in the chat, and he says, "Hey Dave, I got a message saying Ken disavowed the doxing you do. Do you know about this?" I think you're probably misinterpreting things because for some reason people keep thinking that I dox. I've never doxed anybody. Okay. Now again, if perhaps people require a dictionary to understand I'd suggest a dictionary and, legal statutes and examine exactly what constitutes doxing. Well, even people like Tommy NC would clearly understand, and he can't even read. They clearly understand that I've never doxed anybody. Now, throwing my weight around, if you want to call it that, okay, let's call it that. That's fine. You fuck around, and you find out. It's as simple as that. Now, people apparently, again, millennials and Zoomers, just don't seem to get it, is that I always wanted to be left alone. But if you fuck with me, and you try to test me, well, then I'll show you exactly what I'm capable. Well, I'll give you a little taste of what I'm capable of. But that scares people enough to make them understand, oh, Dave's serious about this. He's not going to tolerate anyone coming after him because clearly this is something he takes serious. Now, again, if they truly stood on high ground, Bullsy, they'd be able to, I guess, retort with the same thing against me. Could they not? Would they not? But why don't they? Okay, that's something to consider as well. Let me go back to the chat here. We've got Vikings fan who says, "I got you. I got you, bro. I got you, babe. You're going to be my share to my Sonny. How about that? But I will avoid skiing into a tree and die." Costanza says, "Bullsy being fed lies." Well, I talked to Bullsy the other day in text form and advised him on stuff that he was saying on his stream was factually incorrect and that he really should pay attention to things that came about prior to his knowledge of these things, or more importantly, to go to the source. So if you hear something about me, I don't have you banned. You don't have you blocked. You can easily just come to me and just say, well, what about this? What about that? You'll always get a straight answer from me. So, again, the only people that get banned and blocked are harassers. Okay? Because, again, I had to block Bullfrog because it was too much. Just like, I don't even interact with you. Like, just leave me alone. And I don't even want to fucking, and I've said that so many times in the past, like, just leave me alone. And he still wouldn't. So this time around, I made a new account, started contacting me, and just at one point I was like, block. That's it. I hope all the best for the guy. I always did in the beginning, but I'm certainly not going to fucking be a retard like Seaman and just acquiesce and say, oh, it's perfectly fine for somebody like Bullfrog to do these criminal acts because he's retarded. Again, it's the liberal mindset. They're a little pet that needs to be controlled. So I'm going to just defend them because it's going to make me feel better. It's not saying, well, hold on a second. I know that you're capable of doing things. The guy can read. This guy's not like Tommy NC. He's capable of working. He's capable of fucking understanding things. But no, people hold him to a lower standard. And all that really means is that A, they have disrespect for the guy, and B, they view themselves as these saviors. Same with people who, like, again, liberal Democrats that think that black people can't get voter ID, they can't fucking get to the DMV, all that sort of thing. And they think that voter ID is racist and all that shit. They view black people as pets. It's as simple as that. And it's the same thing with people that are mentally challenged. A lot of people think that they're not capable of anything but, simple drone work. And they've got to be defended, even excusing criminal acts. And that just is detrimental to them. But this is, again, what Robert Hyland wrote about. I'd suggest you check out his work. specifically in the novel Starship Troopers, because they talk about the sociologists of the 21st century that essentially enabled, like literally, the book reads like fucking, what's it called? A prophecy. It's explaining right now the breakdown in society, and this book was written back in the late 40s. And it's nothing close to the movie. It's actually really good. Now, if you like the movie, okay, no problem. It wasn't bad. But this thing is the real deal. So if you want to read a good book, it's fiction, but it's science fiction and politics and philosophy all rolled in together into a fucking amazing story. And if you really want to learn, read that book. Let's see. Back to the chat. Bosey says Tommy is a way more superior than Frog. Well, in some cases. In other cases, Bullfrog can read. He can operate, and he can at least moderate his temper, I guess, to a certain extent. At least we've seen that a little bit more when it came to what's been happening recently with Bullfrog than Tommy. Because Tommy, again, it's almost like a clockwork. Like, you could almost time it when you watch Ken's show and Tommy comes on, because you know that eventually Tommy's going to say, you know what, Ken, I'm done. I'm leaving. And hang up and, you know. Let's get back to this, people. We've been talking enough, but there's still more to go.
That Essie's always just kind of been a troll. You know, and maybe he's
No, he's been worse than that.
not doing it as much nowadays, but dude, if you would have...
Why? Because perhaps he did too much and people called him out for it and held him accountable for it. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm not the only one who had issues with Essie Steve. I'm the one who's most vocal about it now. Again, cowards hide in the shadows. Real men stand alone. You guys know that's always what I've done. So, in situations like this, we know certainly that Essie Steve is certainly not this innocent victim to the wrath of the tyrant known as Dave Rose. He is a victim of his own circumstance. Let's continue.
Seen Essie 2 years ago. Fuck me, dude. Like him and YR together 2 years ago. Ooh, that was fucking hard. Like, I remember one time Ken put them on a show, and like they just proceeded to troll the fuck out of it. And then after they're like doing a stream of the laugh, they're like, yeah, we trolled the fuck out of him.
And that's not malicious. That's not an infantile mind that really shouldn't be amongst the public. No. That's somebody that should be allowed to do whatever they want, right? Oh, he's not hurt anyone. What if he's attacking people in the chat, which he's done? Or disrupting the flow of the show, spamming the chat with shit. And look, you don't like it? Okay, don't watch. You want to purposely come in and just start to troll? What are you just admitting with that? You admitting that you're so fucking worthless that you've got no better value than doing that in your life? Well, if that's the case, then really the solution is simple. Kill yourself. Because clearly you have such a lack of desire to live that something like that, trolling a chat, is apparently the only thing that gives you value in your existence. So really, if that's the case, imagine this. If it goes away, you won't have anything to supplant that. So at this point, recognize that it's not worth living. I'm sure your family considers you an embarrassment. And you know what? Just end yourself. Because really, what value do you bring to the world? Nothing. Nothing at all. But apparently that's very cruel to say about an illegal mestizo.
It's just like...
Yeah.
And again, I remind everyone that just because videos have been deleted that prove that I'm correct, and there are character witnesses to this, Doesn't mean I'm wrong when I say that, yes, Greasy Illegal did dox Ken. Okay. 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 Okay.
Like that was their whole existence, and I don't mind trolling. Trolling is funny, especially if it's lighthearted. You know, if it's lighthearted and fun, who gives a shit? But those dudes like live for it. But Wire has grown a lot in the last 2 years.
No. He keeps going back to his old ways.
Right. I'm glad because like I really do give a fuck about YR. Like I'll always do my best to go to bat for him if I believe he needs someone to go to bat for him. And then
Now, this is funny because I've been told that this guy says that I'm the, I attract retards, or no, what was it? Somebody said this, I think it was YR, that my viewers are special needs, or I can't remember the exact phrase. Do I go to bat for people with special needs, or do I hold them accountable to a normal standard, which logically you would do? Well, it's the latter. Who's the one that fucking goes to bat and fucking defends the indefensible, the retards? It's C-Man. Every single fucking time.
I've grown to like S.
Shout out to Casey is Raw in the chat. And hopefully you're feeling better after that tooth surgery.
See quite a bit too. Even just interacting with him like off shows and stuff. I think he's a pretty genuine guy. So I'm kind of glad I missed that phase of them being like dick strudels because I might not like him as much as I.
That's hilarious. That is such moral relativism. I'm glad I missed that so I didn't have to witness it. So I still think good stuff about him, even though if I watched something that was older, it might change my opinion about them. Are you listening to yourself, C-Man? Are you listening to yourself at all?
I do now.
It's hard to say because Wire's always kind of had this fucking weird.
And Nikki, how could you not call that out, man? That just it's so illogical. Illogical. I mean, if I was a Vulcan, I'd start getting emotional. Shout out to the geeks that know that shit. But come on, man. Come on.
Arm that he's enjoyable to have around.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always had this. He really has always had this capability of. He's like a little brother. And that's what everyone fucking says about him. He's like a little brother, dude. He does shit that pisses you off, but he pulls you back in, and it's like, you little motherfucker, how did you do that?
He has it's like a natural charisma, and he's also one of the most just naturally funny people I know. You know what I mean?
Then you've, again, proved me correct that you have no life experience, because if you think that YR is one of the funniest people you know, you really haven't met many people in your life now, have you? Or everyone that you've met is probably just a pathetic sack of shit, which I can't accept. I can't accept that as a possibility. It's just not possible. The statistics just don't allow for it. So that's just fucking sad. Do you live your life as a NEET, just fucking not doing shit? Like, what the, seriously, what the fuck? What the flying fuck? Let's continue.
There's Vikings in the chat. He just says wow, and I know in his brain, why are that little piece of shit cocksucking motherfucker ain't it fucking enjoyable? Like I know what fucking Vikings is thinking. Shout out to fucking Tony and his 3 fucking viewers. By the way, you're so awesome, Tony. People fucking love you. Goddamn, buddy. Let's see here. Fucking broke-ass Bullsy.
What?
I can stand RP. Oh, shut up. I'm trying to fucking milk him.
Sorry.
RP does. I mean, I do that sometimes too, though. Like I try to be better about it, but like it's hard to make a good point and be, for me to convey my point and like in a real fucking limited terms, and limited word space. Yeah, Wire's funny. Wire's funny. SC, I don't mind, because SC could be a good guy sometimes. SC can be a good guy sometimes. I've had streams I've done, and he's called up, and we just shot the shit. Like, I remember...
You're being played there. Anybody that actually thinks that he's a good guy is being played, and I just find it so sad that people just don't see it. But then again, you don't have my Hispanic superpower, which is to see through the bullshit of those who, although share some of my Latino blood, are still way inferior and are low tier. So I don't necessarily blame Nicky. He is a Mormon. He is whiter than white. I mean, I am from Argentina, but this guy literally, can camouflage himself in the snow if he was naked. So you just see a floating beard there. But yeah, I think I know how to identify them. Okay. To hunt the Latino, you must understand the Latino. You must be the Latino. Call me sellout. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a Latino to call me the equivalent of an Uncle Tom. What would that be in Spanish? Tío Tomás. Tío, meaning uncle, and Tomás, which would be Thomas, which is obviously the full form of Tom. But I don't know if there is a short form for Tom, other than saying Tom, which I've never heard before. So, Tío Tomás. You can call me Tío Tomás ese. How about that, Holmes? Actually, I'm actually liking that moniker, to be quite honest. I'm going to have to tweet that shit out. Tío Tomás. But yes, let's continue.
Once one of my biggest thing is, because people on the left really like to get upset when people say, "Oh, well, I'm praying for you." Shut up, Bolsey. I'm trolling you. Calm down, dude. Bolsey's like fucking. He's ready to get fucking up, and he go fucking do a stream on me. I'm not gonna listen to. But
he's coming.
It sounds like Travis's and
But,
Seaman's streams.
But where the fuck was I going with that? No, yeah, he's like people on the left like to say that like when some kind of tragedy happens, like the right always says, "Oh, thoughts and prayers," and I remember getting pissed about it because I was like, well, sometimes that's all you can do.
Yeah.
In the moment, it's like hope for somebody better. And SC called up and agreed with that, and we rapped for a bit, and it was pretty good.
If you think of it from a standpoint, say someone is, very religious and genuinely believes in a God, whatever it may be, them offering their prayers to you is the most genuine form of love that they could probably give. So when that gets just completely discredited, it is kind of fucked up. Now, and I also get the other perspective, especially if it's someone who's,
you've been very
nihilistic and doesn't, even if they do believe in a God, they fucking resent it, whatever. I get why they'd be annoyed, but at the same time, fucking connect on that human level of this is how they're expressing love in a sense. But yeah, he's definitely a solid guy. The amount of times I've seen him go to bat for Keith, and the whole stance on Keith's another story, but I know SC genuinely gives a shit about what happens to him.
Bullshit.
Yeah, no, he
That's fucking bullshit.
No, he could be a good, but at the same time, he could be a real fucking whiny motherfucker sometimes. Like he could just be. I don't know. I don't credit Dave's thing, but Dave would always say it's the filthy mestizo thing. I don't even know what a mestizo is.
Oh my god.
But I was just like,
it's just a racist thing. That's all.
A racist thing? No. Okay, so first of all, I get the brown pass or whatever you want to fucking call it. Okay, I was born in Argentina. I literally speak Spanish every day. When I'm not speaking English, with basically, either people in work or, with you guys, I'm speaking Spanish all the time. Okay, just found out I had neighbors that were from Argentina. Well, that are from Argentina, from Mendoza and La Plata. And, okay, maybe I don't have the best accent and stuff, but I certainly have a very ample vocabulary in Spanish. Well, Castellano, which is the dialect of Spanish that I speak. But I've explained this so many fucking times, It's just, I don't know. Let me go back to what I was saying earlier. I just want to, I believe I was going to say something.
No, he could be a good, but sometimes he could be a real fucking whiny Dave's thing. But they would always say it's the filthy mestizo thing. I don't even know what a
Oh
mestizo
my
is.
Oh yeah, the
God.
racial thing. The
But I
racial
was just
thing.
like,
It's just
Yeah, no, you can't call that on me there, C-Man. You can't say that shit at all. Again, this doesn't belong to you. Okay, this is inter-Hispanic warfare. It doesn't belong to you. So you can't comment on this stuff. Okay, you have no knowledge about Hispanic culture or society, or the predisposed biases that every single Latino and Hispanic has against every other Hispanic and Latino. It's just simple as that. Yeah, some people might not understand it. Not my fucking problem. You don't stick your nose into a cultural, issue that doesn't belong to you. Let's continue, or belong to you. Let's continue. I said, let's continue.
no, yeah, it was, and
No.
I don't know, but
No,
I mean,
no, because you said the other day you were talking about racial. When Travis was, again, the lack of logic from Travis. Oh, well, you're imitating your wife's accent. Is that cultural appropriation? Well, first of all, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard anybody ever say in this community, simply. And you would think that would be, below Travis, but clearly not. And Mickey was like, no, it's not. It's satire. It's fucking making fun of this shit. And he said it's racial. It's not racist, which is exactly correct. So, no. You don't get to say, oh, Dave Rose is being racist, but Nicky Nines, he's being racial. Sorry, you don't know Argentine culture, okay? You don't speak Spanish 99% of the time, okay? You don't know the culture. You don't have a right to say a goddamn thing.
I can get along with him, and I can play nice on the stream. I can play nice with Jacob on stream. I can play nice with pretty much everyone on stream, but except for maybe fucking, and just because he won't play nice is probably Simo. Like I could sit. I've sat on streams with Simo before and been just fine, but after he got really butthurt when
you called him irrelevant. I don't think he ever fucking gave it up.
Because he was getting pissy when I used to do the interview thing, right? And he was just like...
Maybe, well, then I guess it was even earlier than that, because the interview thing was how Nicky basically started.
Because I did a interview confession with Keith, and he was like, why are you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about... He's like, if I was doing that shit, I would talk about what's his plans for the future, and, just shit at me. I'm like, what do you mean what plans, motherfucker? He's in a fucking retard bin. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he got pissed, and I told him, because Seema's not the most... And this isn't to say I am either.
Isn't the most. What are you going to say?
Okay, I'll preface this that he isn't the most entertaining person in the world.
I would have. Well, you know what? Another acceptable answer would have been isn't the most intelligent. But judges, yep, they're saying they're accepting this statement. Okay, please continue, Nikki.
Like he's not like a dude that you have to listen to. Like, oh shit, what's he got to fucking say?
Have to listen to? Oh, you're being so kind, Nikki. You're a saint.
And
he's not bad.
He's not bad. Again, another great statement from C-Man, who doesn't pay attention to what people have done in the past, because if it didn't occur when he was paying attention, it clearly never happened. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not someone I'm going to, go out of my way to, check to see what they're fucking up to. But if I see he posted something, I'll give it a listen. And I don't mind him, aside from, because the perception I get of him is that he will say a whole lot about what everybody else should do, but then doesn't really put forth much effort himself. He clipped 5 minutes of one of my videos the other day and didn't add anything at all to it, aside from saying that he was my dad.
Well, if you were paying attention, you would have known that he's been doing this for probably since the beginning, since he started doing streams and stuff. So, again, kind of important to pay attention to the details.
Because our names both start with C on the internet, so it's like at least fucking do something, you know. That's all. Even today, like when he called in the YRs, he didn't do anything. He just fucking said, "Oh, hey, subscribe," and then he dipped out.
Yeah, it was like, what? Nicky Nines is mad that I'm here right now. Well, I'll show him how irrelevant or something along those lines. It's like, well, you are.
Yeah.
I find it quite comical that for quite some time, YR got ridiculed that, oh, his show sucks, blah, 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 this and that. But yet, somehow now, I mean, it hasn't really changed from the previous iterations. Again, yeah, was there a time where he didn't have pieces of garbage on there? Yeah, that was the reign of Dave Rose. And a great reign it was. But prior to that, and now, after my reign, it's the same shit. So why are people hanging in it now when they didn't in the past? Could it be that your number one villain, the devious one, has galvanized people to join together against the boogeyman? Yes, it is. Let's continue.
Oh, dude, because at the same time, nobody's been clamoring to have you around except for Wire, and I do truly believe that it is, when it comes to relevancy and I get that it's subjective, that if the only person you can stream with is fucking YR, you're not, you can't make any claims to fame like you're this big fucking deal.
Yeah, but watching him also kind of makes things questionable, Nicky. I mean, I know that you are the fourth drama emperor. Hail to you. But putting so much credence on what YR does, a little questionable, just for the fact that we know who YR is. But let's continue.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't say... I never agreed with the irrelevant thing because Simo's one of those guys that gets...
Of course you wouldn't. You would... I'm the one who's apparently... Well, I called you the retard wrangler, but you basically... You and others insinuated... I'm talking to C-Man now. That apparently I attract all these retards. And then I attack them and all this stuff. But it's like... It's the retards that are attracted to you, dude. Like, and not only that, you're defending and protecting, defending their actions, which is insane, and then protecting them with, your supposed, look, oh, I'm going to do this. And it's like, nobody's watching your streams. I can't remember where it was. I think it comes in this stream, at some point in the stream, because I remember Nicky saying it, but like, he basically said, you and Travis can keep making videos. Dave Rose doesn't give a shit. And that's true. I don't. So, and I'm not watching your shit. So, you can keep fucking making videos all you want and get all fucking enraged and all that. But, again, I'm having more fun this way. Let's continue.
It's lumped into the always gets shit on bin. Like, he's right. He always gets paired with Scott no matter what the discussion is.
Yeah, but...
Could that be maybe because of his association with him over years? Oh, wait. You dismiss anything that happened prior to a year ago. So I guess that ignorance would allow you to choose such stupidity, but you might want to read a book.
But he deserves it because the dude literally fucking gave Scott Ken's address.
Oh, that is a good point. That is a very good point, Nicky. Fourth Drama Emperor, hail to you. But... these are things that are overlooked or ignored. Overlooked by people like C-Man, who thinks, I've been here a year, it doesn't matter. And then Travis, who ignores it, is like, well, but we're at battle with Dave, so we got to keep focused on Dave. And come on, man. Come on. You're not James Bond, okay?
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just mean more so I think the claim that he's...
What did I say?
For what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America.
Sorry, C-Man.
Isn't
No,
this America?
C-Man, get in the car.
Sorry, I thought this was
Get
America.
the fuck in the police car. God damn it, C-Man. Stop getting so fucking emotional.
Completely irrelevant doesn't work if he's constantly like one of the heels, if we're going to put it like wrestling terms. You know what I mean?
But to be fair to me and to a lot of people, he always was, because he was never much of a streamer. Like, he was always just kind of a guy that called up wire stream.
Gotcha.
You know, he never really did anything by himself. He never had like a must listen to show. Like back in the day, his biggest claim to fame was he made some community wrestling thing, where on a video game. You know, and that was it. Like, no one was like, oh fuck, let's listen to the hard hitting scene. Like, nobody was saying that. I mean, I remember getting on a call with him and him because he was talking shit, and the dude fucking bounced like a bitch. Like, literally, I get on there and he fucking just ran tuck tail, and it's like, dude, you ain't fucking hard. You're a fucking pussy, dude.
Gotcha.
Like, if you can't fucking deal with somebody talking shit to you on the internet and you got to run from a fucking Skype call, that's fucking sad. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, dude. It just is. Like,
Yeah, I
like
mean, I wasn't there for it to know like the full how it all went down, so I'm trying to give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt to him at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe he's just. I mean, obviously he's not good at talking shit, but I don't know. It was but that for me, and how he couldn't just let shit go, and then he fucking. And
I want to add something real quick here. Nikki Nines, I was doing my stream last night, and Nikki Nines went live with a gaming stream. I don't know if it was from an alternate channel. I think it was the main one, but I don't see it up anymore. I don't know if maybe I'm looking at the wrong spot, but I believe people were calling into his show and talking drama, or at least that's what I was told. And again, I just wanted to review it as a surprise, you know, something that I didn't plan on, didn't hear. And I always like to, you know, try things that I'm not aware of. But I just remember then I saw that he went live last night. It's like, oh, okay. I guess I'll wrap it up. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if Nikki is listening. Shout out to Clam Baked in the chat. Hope the kiddo's doing okay. But yeah, basically, I don't know whether or not it was on an alternate channel. I would have liked to review. I don't know what was said. I assume it was mostly gaming, but I mean, why would it be removed? Maybe something was said. You never know. But hey, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Nikki. So you can restore it now that I've sang that tune for you. Speaking, well, actually, well, I'll say it now. But yeah, I think I said it earlier, possibly. But YR made a stream, and then he made it private, and there was things that apparently were said about me that I was hoping to review, but YR, after my request to restore it, still hasn't responded. But we still have a little bit more to go here on this stream, so let's continue. And then we have more stuff to review, so keeping you guys entertained on a Saturday evening.
And then when he tried to really peddle that Scott was a pedo without any proof.
Yeah,
Like,
that shit was dumb.
And it was just like, dude, I don't want to deal with people like that, because like you're legitimately trying to ruin people's lives. Because there's a famous clip that goes around where, you know, Scott's crying to Joe about because you know.
Oh, the one that I posted. Yes.
Was allegedly, supposedly pushing that shit to people that knew Scott.
Yeah.
And people wanted to fucking kill Scott because of this. And it's like, dude, you can't do that shit. Like, you're fucking with somebody's life in a terrible, terrible way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't have any love for people that are fucking pedos, but it's like, you can't just accuse some dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that's what a lot of what has pissed me. A big part of why I kept going at Dave the way I did was because he was starting to fucking do they'll bring up the whole Danielle Bergoli shit, and then the clip came out and Dave.
So it bothered him that I brought up an actual fact. That's what you're telling everybody. You're basically admitting this to the world. You don't like the fact, and again, there's a scientific term for it. I don't remember what it is. because it really does disgust me. But okay, so apparently, if you're into kids from like birth to 5 or 6, it's a certain type of pedophile. Then there's 6 to 12. Then there's 12 to 14 or 16, and then there's 16 to 18 sort of thing. This is all in fucking psychology books. I'm surprised that this guy who's apparently going into psychology is clueless about it. But again, to be attracted to someone who is a minor, okay, both legally and okay, if you want to okay, because here's the thing. Let's think about this. Morally speaking, well, also depending on your interpretation on religion as well, because the Muslims will certainly marry a child who's 9 years old. That's a fact. But there's also reformist churches and such that also understand, okay, well, you can't really marry a 14-year-old to a 20-year-old. That's just doesn't go. Especially today. Maybe back fucking 200 years ago where that was both considered acceptable and you're looking to breed fucking 20 children or something. Okay, well, back then it was acceptable. Today it's not. But this this attempt, again, you've got to study logic, Seaman. You have to study logic because you gotta, again, you get emotionally involved. You've already admitted that, which again is a female thing to do. So I guess you have a pussy. But you've got to remove your emotions from the entire situation, act like a fucking robot, and examine just the facts, ma'am. I know that's a little too old for you to, well, that saying is too old for you to understand, but regardless, it still bears weight. Just the facts, ma'am. Because you got to understand, it's not appropriate to even state these things in this day and age. 200 years ago, okay, acceptable. In this day and age, as somebody who's over the age of 20 to pine over somebody who's 14 to 16 years old, it turns my stomach. It makes me feel ill. Now, if it doesn't make you feel ill, well, it should make everyone who's listening right now feel ill. Because how could somebody like Seaman say something like that unless maybe he endorses it? So that is truly disgusting. Let's continue.
Eve sounds like 10 times worse on that clip than what Scott did, and then to try and like
clip was that big of a deal. But
hold on a sec. I don't know what clip he's referring to, but I sound bad. Have I ever said, "Oh my God, man, I don't care if she's 16, 14 or whatever, like I'd fuck the shit out of her"? No, it's always been, don't even fucking talk to me about that shit. And again, when offered nudes of people, and there's more than one individual whose nudes I was offered by Scott and others associated with Scott, I always said, don't you even dare send that shit to me. Don't you even dare. Because it's not just for a moral aspect, it's and the legal aspect. The moral aspect, to me, was just reprehensible. And there's the religious aspect as well. But morality to me is the most important thing. And, although religion does help, it's not necessarily required for you to be moral. But it seems like when it comes to you, Seaman, and others, you're going to need religion to regain some sort of sense of morality, because right now you are a moral relativist. This is what communists think. And, well, liberal Democrats, which is almost the same thing, because there'll be people who think, oh, well, love is love. Well, the inevitable conclusion of that is, well, it's okay for an adult to have sex with a kid. That's what NAMBLA has been pushing for literally 40 fucking years. Am I wrong? No, I'm not factually wrong, and I'm not morally wrong. You can try to prove that, but you'd fail miserably. I dare you to try to prove me wrong when it comes to NAMBLA. I dare you. Let's continue.
Because I didn't think it was that big of a deal, because he.
Well, but it got painted to be, though, that's that Scott was a pedophile based off. That's what the big deal.
It was me. It was me who called him a groomer. It was me that said he was a pedophile. It was me that was doing all these things. No, certainly not. But when I break down a simple situation of his admission to attraction to those that are minors, the conclusion is left to you. Now, if you want to ignore certain situations and not others, well, that's up to you. But if the evidence is presented to you and you want to excuse it because I'm the bad man, it just goes to show how much you've compromised your own morals, if you ever even had any in the first place. Let's continue.
Deal was is that the clip itself was like whatever the fuck. Some of the stuff is like, wow, that's a little.
Hold on a second. Now I'm starting to recollect things. I know I'm over the hill, 42, and my memory is apparently failing, despite the fact that I've smoked, myself to hell and back, and still have a better memory than most people. But didn't hold on? Didn't Ken? Let me just replay this because I want to get the right wording here.
It got painted to be though that Scott was a pedophile based off. That's what the big deal was. Is that the clip itself was like whatever the fuck. Some of the stuff is like, wow, that's a little weird, but whatever. And more so in regards to what Dave said. But
but hold on. But that's another thing. Is that okay? That's what I was going for. Is that Ken has said some fairly harsh things as well. Some out of anger, some out of actual truth. Okay, so and they can't be denied, but that's okay for Ken, perfectly fine, but not okay for me. Gotcha. Let's continue.
The fact that they painted it that Scott was saying he was.
Look, dude, seriously, C-Man, seriously, relax, okay? Get in the back of the police car. We're gonna take you somewhere safe.
For what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself?
Relax.
I thought this was America.
C-Man.
Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
God damn it, C-Man. You gotta relax, man. Let's continue.
Gonna have sex with a 14-year-old girl
Scott,
and this, that, and the
Scott
other.
Said something, but Scott, I don't.
Man, this guy fucking excuses like mongoloids and fucking, again, whatever pedophile rank is somebody who's over a minor pining for a 16-year-old or 14-year-old. I can't. Again, I've got to find the graphic because I have this graphic that I saved from all the meme wars that I've been involved in, which goes to show the scientific definition of what each age group predator, if you want to call it that, would be called under current scientific definitions. So.
I don't know if it was that clip, but another clip, he said something along the lines because people were giving him shit about that Daniel Bergoli shit. And he's like,
okay.
I don't care if she's 14, you'd fuck her too. Like, he said some shit along the
Oh, well, C-Man doesn't need to know that stuff. It doesn't matter. It happened in the past, so what does it matter, right?
Those lines. So it
gotcha.
was like he doubled down.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
What the fuck, dude?
But if Dave Rose proves that he's correct and that he's not a liar, no. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? What are you, fucking Greta Thunberg?
Yeah. Yeah, but Dave said some similar shit, and he was even justifying, like...
Negatory. No, I didn't. And, again, you're also ignoring what Ken has said, as well as what other people have said. So, I'm the villain. I'm the bad man.
Age of consent in different fucking parts of the world.
And I talked about this when I did my review. Actually, no, I alluded to it, but I remember hearing this but not addressing it because it didn't come up in the time, and then Nikki went live. But okay, so let's rewind a bit. Let me set the scene here. There was a video that Nicky Nines did some time ago with his friend, I believe, Alan. And this guy, likes the Tarkov. He grew up in a similar situation of civil war and that sort of shit. So, Nicky said that he was doing those videos, to sort of help him through his PTSD and so forth, and, just to give him a place to hang out and so forth. So, at one point, I do remember this, that this guy Alan, if I remember his name correctly, brought this point up. And I remember that Nikki on a stream afterwards talked about this, basically saying, he wasn't endorsing anything, nor was I endorsing anything. But what he was doing was basically giving very good perspective. And that's what it was. Because in other parts of the world, literally, it's perfectly fine for a 63-year-old to marry a 9-year-old, i.e. Afghanistan, for example. Similar things happen in Saudi Arabia, Iraq, China, Thailand. So it happens it happens in South America too. So I remember that, Alan was trying to explain to people that he wasn't endorsing it one bit. He was just taking a dispassionate stance and just explaining a reality. And, first of all, I appreciate that because, again, this is a person who doesn't have fear in regards to just examining topics that are sometimes difficult to listen to, who are very emotional. And then Nikki reiterated that sort of, sentiment, although not as eloquent as I did, and on his stream the day later saying, no, this guy wasn't endorsing this shit. All he was doing was just explaining the facts that exist outside your little fucking protected worlds. And that was basically what I was referring to when I started to address this sort of thing, which was, that Alan had made a good point. And I think in my stream, I even said that. So it'd be convenient for him to ignore that. Very convenient there, C-Man. But, he made a great point about, the standards that are held in the rest of the world. And just because we don't like them doesn't mean they don't exist. They don't go away if we just close our eyes. So, again, and it's funny, though. Am I not the Tin Man, the man with no heart, the emotionless one? So, at some points, I can be emotionless, but other points, I'm being emotional? It doesn't really work that way. Let's continue.
Yeah, but Dave said some similar shit, and he was even justifying, age of consent in different fucking parts of the world, so...
No, I wasn't. That's the funniest thing. This guy is so stupid that he thought I was actually justifying this. Do I think that a 73-year-old or older should be able to marry some 9-year-old? Well, actually, you can marry them at 6. You can't have sex with them until they're 9, according to the Quran. So, do I endorse that or even support that? Hell fucking no. I want fucking Mecca nuked for that sort of shit. So, no. This sort of statement, again, is more lies. Now, whether or not Seaman is intelligent enough to understand he's lying, I don't know. What I do know is that he is lying. He's saying things that are factually incorrect, and whether it is because of his lack of intelligence or because he's just trying to, besmirch the great name of Dave Rose, doesn't disprove me as being correct, and goes to show who's trying to really push an agenda here. Let's continue.
So it was kind of, if someone else wanted to call them both out, cool. But for it to get painted that Scott's a fucking pedophile, like how it was getting painted.
Was I the only one doing that? But also, I never did that, though. Again, a pedophile specifically is one that goes after a child. 0 to 5 or 6. I can't remember the exact age. I got to find that graphic. But I did say it's not pediast. I can't remember the actual, and I'm happy I don't remember the fucking definitions, but I do know that there's different definitions. I mean, if you ever, again, a fucking psychologist, you can't look up the fucking, whatever medical journal that is, the MSM-5 or whatever, MSN-5, they keep changing them, updating them, but then they remove, gender dysphoria as actually being a condition, and then say these people need to be praised. But you're not paying attention? Come on, let's continue.
For a while there, Yeah, not a fan of that shit. That's pretty fucked up.
But the clip I heard, I think when Dave was talking.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not a fan of that. I think Nikki's gonna talk about this here.
About when she was 16. I thought that's what it said on there. While that's legal in a lot of parts of at least.
No, well, I guess he doesn't remember about how really I was just, and I talked about this when I did that stream, is that I was reminded of what Alan said in Nikki's stream, and I said, well, the guy raises good points, and it should be addressed too.
American, I think Canada, like morally, it's reprehensible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just like I've always said, what the fuck are you gonna do with a 16-year-old? It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Probably can't even make a good sandwich. Like, come on.
no, but from a legal standpoint, not. But morally, yeah, that is reprehensible. You know.
Mm-hmm. Bro,
Until
even
they
just
turn
thinking
18,
about
then it's
fucking,
okay.
well, even thinking about like, because I don't like younger chicks. I always feel like I'm fucking a retard. I ain't even gonna lie to you because they're just there's not
That's quite comical.
a whole lot of
Well, maybe that's why you're attracted, or you attract so many retards.
depth there, and especially nowadays because everything so fucking revolves around the internet, right? So I can't even.
Well, then you're a loser, because again, you said that YR was one of the funnest people you know, which means you don't really know any people. You literally can't go out to the grocery store and pick somebody up, or fucking, I don't know, a mall, a bank. You can't, seriously? Just walking the street, having a walk? That's kind of sad, man. It's like incel type shit.
Even imagine an 18-year-old, let alone going all the way to 16 like that.
Nikki, I'm glad that you did. Oh, sorry. Let me announce the presence of your fourth drama emperor, the great one himself, the Nine Gods, Nikki Nines, in the chat. And he says, just tuned in. We're talking age of consent now. Yes. Now, Nikki, as I explained earlier, I don't know if you heard it, but I was really addressing your buddy Alan. I think that's his name. The guy from, I think it's Yugoslavia, the guy who lived through the fucking Civil War and shit, who's down with the Tarkov, who you helped out with his PTSD and all that shit. We're talking about the fact that this guy dispassionately, as one should, examined the rest of the world compared to America and discussed how the age of consent is younger and all the different sort of situations that come with that. Well, when I did discuss what Seaman's discussing here, it was exactly that. It was actually because I was reminded by what he said, and you know, he had made great points, and, you know, there was this discussion about, oh, well, you're claiming that Scott is this and that. It's just like, well, hold on a second here. I'm not saying the word pedophile, because that's, first of all, it's factually incorrect. That goes to a certain age difference, like children, like young children. It's, obviously, I'm disgusted by it, but you got to take a dispassionate, you know, stance to discuss it. So it's like, obviously, he's not a pedophile because he doesn't even match that term. But to be attracted to people of this certain age, it falls within this sort of psychological condition, which is already in the medical books and so forth. But then again, that's Western sort of psychology, because what the fuck do people in Afghanistan care about when a 73-year-old is marrying a 6-year-old and then consummating the wedding at 9, right? They don't give a flying fuck. Just like with Afghanistan or fucking Syria or China, other places. Africa, fuck. So it's not about Wolf. Okay, Wolf. Is that his? Al. So his name is not Alan then? I just thought, maybe I misheard. But whatever. Yeah, he made good points. And I just thought it very comical that... well, Seaman is saying these things. He doesn't clearly listen to what I do, because literally I was, you know, sort of channeling Al, and sort of raising a point that he had, which was quite valid. But again, I wasn't endorsing fucking kids. So wake the fuck up, moron. Now, Nikki, I did say earlier, I saw that you streamed last night, and I did wrap it up, even though you started to go over me, and I'm gonna have to contact a legal team to look into the whole matter. But this gaming stream, though, I do believe that some people were on there speaking poop about me. And, since we're all here, why don't you unprivate that, and we can review it. But we have still some more to go, so while we wait for the Emperor's reply, let's continue.
That's just fucking vile.
Yeah,
if you're a dude past 20 going after a 16-year-old, you got problems.
Wait, what's...
But me calling it out is a no. It don't make sense, senor.
The old rule, wasn't it? It's half your age plus 7, and you're good.
I think it's something like that. I don't know. I've always liked older chicks, so that's not something I'm worried about.
Mommy complex?
I don't know. Wait till you're my age. You won't like older chicks anymore.
Yeah, well, it depends.
Nikki Nine says, "What's private?" You did a gaming stream last night. Because I stopped my stream because you did one. Now, was this on a different channel, or... Because I can't seem to find it. Oh, you made it private. Interdasting. Perhaps you'd like to explain why in the chat? Did you dox somebody again? Like JB, or... Who else have you supposedly doxed? I don't know. Supposedly, amongst the trolls, the list is long of people that Nikki has doxed. Not as long as the list that I've supposedly created of doxing people. But, yes, I'm sure that that's what happened. You showed somebody's phone number online, or, you farted, and they could smell it from where they were living, right? Let's continue.
When I was 20 when I dated my ex, and she was about 4 years older than me. That was cool, but now dealing with
that's not a big age discrepancy. I'm talking when you're 40 and there's other pussy that's 40, most of it's stinky.
That, and they're usually fucking. If they're still single by the time they're in their 30s, there's usually something off. Because there's a chick I was seeing.
I love the apologies here. It's like, oh well, yeah, if you're that old, then yeah, you can go for somebody who's younger and. There's clearly a problem with them and all that. Just very convenient, I'll say. Very convenient. The Nine Emperor says, no friend doxed himself on part of it. So I took it down. Also, there are messages of me plotting on you. And I want you to be surprised. Okay. Let's continue.
Beautiful, blonde, tall, wonderful lady, but she was fucking borderline beyond belief. And, at 33, still being single.
Young whippersnapper, you must understand the key to life. To understand is that all women are crazy. All of them. So... just pick the one that fits best with you. Okay, once you realize, and all of you out there realize that fucking secret, you're going to live a much more calm life. Okay? But until you realize that, sorry, you can't fix them. They're already broken permanently. It's a simple fact, and they even admit it and know it. The best ones are the ones that admit it and know it, and let you mold them into better things. But, okay, that's a valuable opinion that many people might scoff at or ignore. And to your peril, my friends, to your peril.
Looking the way she did, the mental illness aspect definitely was strong, to say the least.
Yeah, no.
As I'm to be surprised.
That is true, and that's why
crazy women, please.
Get a mail order bride. As people are wont to say, get a mail order bride like Nikki. because but I don't even hate on that either, because it's like, dude, I've dated a lot of broads in the States and in Canada.
Now, at least mail order brides are more traditional. I mean, look at all these feminists thinking that they're gonna get like a man that's 6'7", fucking makes 9 figures and like drives 4 different Ferraris. It's you gotta fucking smarten up there, ladies. Let's continue.
Canada and women in the States, you're just a different breed, dude. Like they don't, like, for them, because it's easy,
Yeah.
For them it's like, I could go get 20 dudes right now. Who gives a fuck about you?
Bingo.
But my
And see,
wife
and I
is,
had these. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, my wife was in the jungle, hunting for her food when I kindly fucking decided to bring her, Oh, no, I'm lying. She was actually a fucking nurse in Dubai. I'm just talking fucking shit, So.
I know. Now, I've had these conversations with women, even older.
I can see Nikki basically saying, "Here's a hemp net. I want you to catch me, jungle woman, and I want you to wear these furs and use this spear, and make me yours." I can see Nikki pulling that sort of kink play in the bedroom. Then they would switch roles, and he'd be the conquistador. He'd be like, "No, I'm here to plant my seed."
For ones, like, I have a friend, she's 42. She's a great girl, but it's like, she doesn't believe me when I say that all you have to do is open up your Facebook and you probably have about 60 options.
She's your friend and she's 42. Might be a predator, a groomer, maybe.
At any point in time. It's not like that for dudes. Like, unless you're in the top like 20% of men, you have to put in some sort of effort to make something happen. Like, that's just how it is.
Ugh, fuck, not me 10 years ago, 10, 20 years ago. Oh, dude, it's so easy to get pussy nowadays. Just, well, it was. I mean, it was a lot easier then. But
Yeah,
nowadays,
it depends.
I don't, obviously I'm married, I would never do that. It's my wife.
Right.
Obviously I'm married,
It feels like it comes and goes in waves in terms of, I don't know. It seems like when I'm not looking for it, it's plentiful.
Yeah,
And then
that's
when
life.
it's, one
yeah,
of those things. Listen, I actually gotta hop out. I'm standing in the store.
late.
I need to get a drink and get home and go to bed. So,
All right, brother.
but
You have a good
thanks
night.
for having me on, man. It was enjoyable talking to you.
All right. Later, brother. You have a good night. Oh, God, he's gone. Fucking trying to steal my clout, piece of shit, see, man. It is getting a little late. I did come on just to, because I don't know, fucking I'm bored. Ain't no one else fucking streaming. So I'm probably going to fucking bounce out. I do honestly hope all of you have a wonderful night once again.
Lies.
Thank you for this, because she was like, told me to stream. If you guys enjoyed it anyway. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I guess I will. But I appreciate all you coming to listen. I had a good time. It was fun to sit around and talk. I wish I had Mars here. But I hope you all have a good night. I'm going to say good night to the chat. C-Man, Chili Cheese J, fucking Bullsy, YR, thanks for calling in. Danimal, Travis, Six, my man. Six got my back, dude. Six hooked me up. Thank you, Six. I appreciate it. Unlike Bullsy. Bullsy, fucking Spartan, Chili Cheese J, fucking Casey is raw. Drew may have popped in. Mrs. Foulmouth. Who else is in this motherfucker? Steve Callan, fucking, what's that fucker's name? Vikings. Sorry, I always like to go through names. I know I sound fucking stupid as shit when I'm going, the Goon, as always. But I appreciate, I appreciate all you guys, man. And, fuck Goon, you ain't gonna expose shit. You're fucking...
Goon was pissed off that he got banned in the chat. That's what happens when you get uppity in a theocratic dictatorship.
Done. But I appreciate all of you. I had a good time, all of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. And hopefully
again.
there'll be no hard
Nikki
feelings
lied.
tomorrow.
Nikki lies.
If not,
That's
I
what
may
your
or may
name is
not
now.
stream
Nikki
again
lies.
tomorrow, or I'll go Friday if Ken ain't going, or if Ken's going, I'll get on with fucking Ken. Or maybe I can get Mars to stream tomorrow. How about you guys fucking message Mars, tell him how much you fucking miss him. Hit him up on fucking
He doesn't
Twitter.
give a shit. Come on.
Love to have him around. You guys have a fucking great
Yeah, it'd be
night.
nice to have
Until
Mars
then.
back, but... Alright, so no music from here. You know what? Skype lines are open if anyone wants to call in. We have Nicky Nines in the chat. He says apparently everyone is streaming right now. So I'm no longer subscribed to a bunch of homosexuals. Well, other than YR. And YR right now is hosting a stream called Drama Ninjas. And it says, it's a new day in the community. Hashtag drama, hashtag NBA, hashtag shoot. Hold on, shoot or work. Okay. But we have 24 viewing here, and you know that I can hold down the fort and certainly provide great entertainment. I don't know who else is streaming right now, but again, I unsubscribed from Tony. I heard Scott's channel got struck or something, and he made a new one. It's just religious stuff. Who else? So yeah, Tony. Not subscribed to C-Man, not subscribed to C-Mo, and not subscribed to Travis. So I don't know, whatever they might or might not be doing, but really, it just gives them blue balls, which really just, makes me chubby. So I'm happy with that. But and Tony. So yeah, that's what Nicky Nines is saying in the chat. Oh, Tony says, gonna stream for a bit in a few hours and talk about everything that's been going on. After I do a segment, you can call in because I want to discuss things that have been going on with you. Well, remember, Ken is going live at 10 tonight, so you might have to up things and get it done sooner than later. So if he's going at 10, that's in 2 hours and 36 minutes, if you want to be accurate. So I guess I'll wrap up, because that's sort of like a hint, I guess. And if not, you know what? I'll take it as a hint. How about that? I'm going to be offended. So you'll have the opportunity to stream without any distractions. And yes, we can talk about whatever you'd wish. Fourth Drama Emperor, he's your fourth Drama Emperor. The Nine God himself, Nicky Nines. And I was thinking of doing some more. What was it? Yesterday, Tony did a video. He was talking about me, apparently, and other shit that's going on. But, well, I guess we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for that, yes. Hold on, what's that, C-Man?
For what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Okay, man. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get you to a nice sanitarium. Okay, it's not an asylum, it's a sanitarium. We're gonna get you some mental health, and you're gonna get better. Okay, we want to see you better. So on that note, my name is Devious Dave Rose. I love leaving people with blue balls. You know it, I know it. And it's been quite enjoyable, as I said. So, until the next Drama Diner, I shall see you next time.